And welcome, race fans. I believe we should be back in action here as I'm trying to make sure get everything up and going. As we're here tonight at Worldwide Technology, and yeah, some reason OBS was wanting to argue with me here tonight, but definitely looking forward to having a great race here with Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. I mean, hopefully you're not getting any of this. I gotta mute this. But definitely gonna be a good one here. Unique track here tonight for the drivers. We'll go ahead and bring up that race info for you here. It is going to be here at Worldwide Technology, and like I said, we do have 20 drivers out here tonight. Good luck, and thank you everybody for showing up here tonight. I see Kathy Ellis out there along with Barry. But yeah, it is a 1.25 mile track. It's not a newer track, but I think they rescanned it here recently. But definitely, and that's why there's no track map there on the track info. But a cool night out here with 71 degrees outside, and it does look like we're gonna have a 74-degree track, so should be a little easier on the tires out there for everybody. Looking forward to seeing what they can do. As always, a quick rundown of the results here for your qualifying. They're hidden here. Go with the results here. Qualifying here tonight, it's going to be Richard Covington on the pole with Yahtzee up there, and P number 2, Turtle Lord Kyle in 3rd, and Thomas O'Connor in 4th, Dylan Lizard Jacobs back there in 5th. Tiffany Ellis will start in 6th with Matthew Hake in 7th, Josh Duncan in 8th, Cody Brewer in 9th, Dylan Emerson in 10th, Chase Ballard in there in 11th, Ron Millum in 12th, Anthony Emerson in 13th, William O'Connor in 14th, and Tim Felker in 15th, Austin Wells in 16th, Cody Handler in 17th, Kelly Akron back there in P number 18, Bruce Spencer in 19th, and TJ Hanley starting from the back of the pack here tonight. So should be a good race here tonight as they get going here. But yeah, definitely going to be a good one here. Just got to do something here real quick because I had to reload everything. I'm just going to make sure my track was loaded, and yep, of course, new maps. So we were going to do our best here to make things work. As always, you always got to be on focus, but we're on the start here as we're going to get these drivers going. And as you all know, that I am Jimmy Covert, and I'll be joined here shortly with Carl Hanworth. But right now, out front is going to be Kent Bice working his way to the front here, and I'll go ahead and bring up that ticker so you guys can see where your favorite driver is, along with oh, and caution is going to be out. It does look like Austin Wells is involved here early. Let me do that out. And go ahead and bring this up there. There we go. That's much better. You guys don't want to see track info all race, that's for sure. But we're gonna go back, take a look and see what happened to Austin as the first caution flies here tonight. And you know, this track is pretty technical and pretty tough here tonight. So we'll go ahead, like I said, we'll take a look to see what happened here as they going down here into the turn here, and just down just a little bit. Wow, was that some bad net code or what? I think that's the worst net code I've seen in iRacing ever. But the 81 goes for a ride, gets in the wall on a few, you know, drivers doing a pretty decent job. You see the 81 locking it down there, and you know, that's a good sportsman thing to do here early on, but getting into there. So bad luck there for the 81, but catches, I think, some of the worst net code I think I've seen in my whole broadcasting career and racing. I mean, just look at this 81 coming down in here. Obviously coming in and just, he was coming down, but either he turned to the right or that was some net code. Definitely tough break. Also getting into the 19 there. Looks like Kelly Akron is squeaking by as well. So, but tough break there for the 81. So first caution of the night. We might see a few here tonight, as obviously the drivers here are on. You got a little bit of both. Some mediocre people that have been racing for a while, and some newer folks, and it's always good. You know, the newer folk get out here and then get around some drivers that have been out here for a bit. But Kent Bice looking to get things rolling here and get that great finish here Let's go ahead and show a tower so you can see where your favorite drivers are all together here. Right there, obviously showing their car number. The gap is from the leader to the end, and then the interval is the distance between each cars. Lights are still on the pace car, and we're winding back up here. And while we're doing that, I'm going to take a quick second here and I'll hopefully get my own overlays up on my screen so it makes it a little bit easier for me to call out this race here. But definitely is one of those things, you just got to go with the flow sometimes. And I think these drivers are going to go with the flow here tonight. We have 90 laps, ladies and gentlemen, 90 laps here at Worldwide Technology. And I'm going to try to see if I can sneak in. I don't have a because SDK didn't update their track maps yet, so we're waiting on those inputs. But I do have another program that I might be able to force something out there for y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. It's it's actually called iOverlay. It's not an iPhone, it's an iOverlay, and it does a good job when I'm out there personally driving to get a track map out there, and they do have that track map. So I'm going to go ahead and let me snag that thing here real quick and snatch it on the stream for you. So let me go ahead and add something here for you and be nice and easy. And I'll just put I already got it on here, it looks like. Oops. Hold on. Cancel. Add. Browser source. Add something that's existing. There we go. Boom. There's that. Hopefully something that can be shown here. And of course, it doesn't want to work for me today. But anyway, the very unique track. Turns 1 and 2 are as a tighter radius than 3 and 4. And you're going to see a lot of drivers, and they're going to, maybe be shifting here tonight. And, maybe that's something they want to do. Maybe it's something they don't. But we're back on our way under green here. Kent Bice out there, out front here early on. Actually, it's Thomas O'Connor up there now as Kent Bice following back here. As a 1 is going to come down in the pits, but it does look like getting some trouble back there, back here in the battlefield, and a caution flag will fly. Maybe Kent figuring something else out there, but early cautions plaguing tonight's races, and it does look like Cody Brewer and Dylan Jacobs look like to be involved in this one here. We'll go back, see what happened, and the 12 coming up. And getting into the 3, gonna send them cars into the wall. You see the 54 sneaking by, the 6 is gonna get by, the 12 doing a fantastic job trying to gain that control of that car, but it's gonna spin him around, and they're gonna meet the 12 and the 12 and the 3, gonna meet nose to nose there on the wall here. So yeah, tough break for some of these drivers early on, and it is a technical track. It's like I said, the radiuses on the corners are a little bit different. In each side, so and it can be challenging, especially on these colder tires as they warm them up. I see Kent Bice, good spot tonight right now, but yeah, it does look like he went in the pits. I got one out there for Kathy Ellis rooting on Tiffany, and then we'll just see what Tiffany's running tonight. We'll go down here and we'll go down to, because I didn't move any cameras around tonight because I had to reboot. Ooh, it is a fancy one. Let me move this camera around for everybody. Get a better look at this car. Look at this thing. Oh, I am a Halloween fanatic. I can tell you all that right now. I just took my wife and family to Halloween Horror Nights, and to see a car like this, themed like this is just, it's gotta be, this is amazing. Like, this is probably one of the better paints I've seen in quite a long time. Look at all the horror themed on that car. CRN on there as well, but you got it and Freddy, Freddy and Jason, which is actually on TV at the moment as well. Chucky on the hood. Oh, I'm loving it. Great choice of a paint scheme there for Tiffany tonight. Definitely loving it. Thanks for pointing that out, Kathy. That's I think that made my night to see, people with the same love for a unique holiday. One of the things that we like to do here at my home is we set up plenty of Halloween decorations for the kids, and believe it or not, I get right around 1,000 kids come to my house every year for Halloween, and I have a few people they look forward to make up a booth basically with Jason and Michael, and I got a TV that I mount in there, and I usually play some sort of horror movie. That's obviously not too bad with the little kids around, but so they come in there and they take their annual photo at my house in my little booth. There looks like a shack with the animated figures out there. So it's definitely a ton of fun. It's one of the days that I always tell Carl, no matter what's going on, it will be a matter of fact, I'm seeing a common theme of a lot of Halloween cars out there, so I'm going to have to take a very close look. Next caution, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to be looking at some cars, because now that that's pointed out, I've noticed that there is a lot of Halloween cars out there. I've seen a bunch, so the 88s have really got my eye on, but I did see a few others. We're going to get back rolling. You got me all. I'm all excited now. I want to see them paints, but we're gonna see them restart here as the pace car is in. We're getting back under green here as Thomas O'Connor now leads the way down there turn wheel, but we're gonna have a spin out before we cross the start finish line. I guess everybody wants me to see their paints. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of here tonight, but we'll try to go back to see what happened. It does look like possibly Josh Duncan, possibly. So we're gonna go back here. Oh, darn it. Sometimes these things just don't all right, so we're gonna go here, and then we'll pause it, and then we'll go to Duncan, because I think that's where it started. See what happened here. It does look like a spin out here, and I know Duncan gets spun around to 7. A little bit of accordion effect there. You see the 7 get into the 54 to 50, or the 42 getting into the 7, and the 24, the 13 on the outside there. I'm trying to get a great look here to see what's going on. It does look like some passing going on, but I think it was a little bit farther back in the field. So we're going to go back here, maybe look forward, see if we can catch what happened, because this was at the start. Maybe? See, let's back this thing up. Oh, it was back here in the back. I found it, folks. Oh, and I wanted to look at paint schemes. Here I got it. I got to show everybody what happened though. So we're gonna go ahead and take that chop review here with Kelly and see what happened here. But we're gonna looking at the number 20 of Kelly Akron down there on the inside, and maybe just some spinning here in the back. And obviously when that accordion effect kind of happens here, I'll speed it up so we can get up to where it was going. Yeah, right there, just the accordion effect of 24 getting into 42 to 42. No, or the 19 letting off. Kelly getting into the 19 again getting involved here. It's going to send them up in the wall. And you see the other car there. So, the horrors are actually flying out here tonight. Maybe not so much in the movies, but for these cars here tonight, and getting some wreckage in here early. So another caution flies, but that's okay. We're gonna take a little bit of time here. We're on lap 11. The pace car lights are still on, so let's go ahead and take a look at these cars out here. It looks like the number 18 of Thomas O'Connor there with it looks like the right. Enjoy the farm. And then we'll go back here to Richard Covington. Got Ghostbusters, very classic. Who you gonna call? Kyle Emerson there with signs. Nice. Tiffany Ellison fourth, and that sweet looking number 88. Chase Millard back there at Coca-Cola, and you can't shout this one out. I think cancer is probably the biggest fear of many, so it blends right in with all the movie themes. And then you got down here Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's a good classic. Ron Milliman there in the Alcola. Does like Duncan's out there drinking some beer tonight in the Michelob Ultra. Looks good. You got Silence of the Lambs. Matthew Hake has got, looks like It. William O'Connor in the Chevrolet. Cody Brewer in the Raptor as normal. TJ out there with THD Designs. Nice pink scheme here tonight. Kelly Akron in his chromed out standard Stars and Stripes. Kent Bice there in Hocus Pocus. That's class. My wife likes that movie. And Cody Handler out there with the St. Louis Blues hockey team. So great looking cars here tonight. We're going to get back on the green. No, we did get a chance to get through all the cars. And now the 18 of Thomas O'Connor getting another chance to start this thing off right and back underway. Now the 21 of Richard Covington there on the outside. Looking good there. The 60 waking their way around there. P3. Tiffany Ellison and Chase Ballard battle on and out side by side as the 6 has the inside going down the back stretch. This is going into turn number 3. Tiffany's going to keep that momentum going. This is the bigger radius for the corners 2 and 3, or excuse me, 3 and 4. And then 1 and 2 is the one that's extremely tight. It's a nice long straightaway, kind of go down. Those drivers really got to let off and kind of come down there. You can see the 54 overdriving that corner just a little bit, sending them wide, and maybe even Tiffany getting in there just a little bit too hard and sending that 88 a little bit wide, and going to put lose that momentum coming out of 2. We're going to lose a few spots there as the 6 and the 54 make that up. Thomas O'Connor out to a nice little lead there, though, and got a good battle brewing here for P number 2. Right now between the 60 and the 21. Who are we going to call? I don't know. Signs or maybe the Ghostbusters as these two battle it out here tonight. It's wonderful to see these. Like I said, I'm like excited about the paint schemes. It's really awesome. I think some of the better paint schemes I've seen on iRacing has come from Halloween this time of year, and the imagination that some of the painters have out there and to put these things together are just amazing. But yeah, a lot of favorites. I would have a hard time tonight actually picking like a favorite. But no favorites right now. No favoritism here for Thomas O'Connor. He wants to lead and win this thing at 18 out front here. Currently, not by much, being chased by the rest of the field. We'll go back here. We'll go all the way back to Dylan Jacobs right behind the battlefield there. He's in the number 3 Goodwrench car, trying to work his way through the field underneath the looking underneath the 24 Chevrolet and the 43 at the moment. That's Bruce Spencer trying to work their way around the field here tonight. So this is the battlefield, folks. This is where a lot of things happen. This right here between 10 and 15 usually gets extremely busy. Very, very competitive area between new drivers and drivers, or veteran drivers maybe having some issues. You can see the 2 there of Tim Felker catching it there, getting banged, kind of beaten, banged around, but able to knock them straight, keep this thing green. One lap 17 of 90. Yeah, Bice has the Hocus Pocus. Yeah, it's definitely awesome. It's kind of wondering what Kent was thinking as he went down in the pits all by himself, but that's okay. He's back out there now. He's still on the lead lap, which gives us a great hope there. Only person a lap down there is going to be Cody Handler in the 16. Pretty fantastic job getting around here in about 32 seconds at this track, and that's, like I said, pretty unique. We'll go on board here. Let's see, we'll go on board with heck, why not? It's been a while since we rode on board inside Tiffany's car, so hopefully we don't give her the curse. But we're gonna hop inside the cockpit and see how she's managing her car. And you can see right there that the rev lights on the dash are gone, going down on the corner. We're heading down the front stretch now, heading down the turn number 1. She's in gear number 5, so working her way through down, and then you see they come downshifting all the way to 3rd gear to help that car rotate. And not every driver does this. Not every driver does this. And we'll hop on a few others there as she comes up through the gears, coming down the backstretch, all the way back up in the 5th gear, coming down to that green light, letting off the gas, getting down 1 gear, not down the 3rd in this corner. So doing some shifting here tonight in these next gen cars, and I know a lot of drivers are probably doing it. We're gonna go with Thomas O'Connor since he's out front. We're gonna see how he's working that wheel, but right down, so now he's in turns 1 and 2, and yeah, even the leader coming down to 3rd gear, coming out of the corners, and then work their way up through the gears, heading down the backstretch. You can see that green light up on there on the right hand side. That's where they let off, and then downshifting down into 4th gear and all the way down to 3rd gear, even here for the longer, more open corner. So shifting going on tonight, and I can probably say not every car is doing that, but it does look like a majority of them doing a lot of shifting here tonight. My sound is skipping out. I apologize. Yeah, I have been having, we had some connection problems earlier, so I'm gonna go ahead and let me make a few adjustments and see if I can make sure that's a little bit smoother. And just to be more exact, is that the iRacing sound, or is that my voice? Might just need to make one quick mic adjustment for everybody. I try to keep away a lot of the extra sounds from the background, as my household can get pretty busy. So I got some filters that are set, and that may be too high tonight. Eliminating myself. That's not something I guess we want to hear when we're calling a race. But definitely, we can try to work on that as we progress here through the night. So it is nice and perfect here tonight. If the cars aren't loud enough, I can turn those up too. Just let me know. But again, I really appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate all the CRN fans out there as always. But we are now 24 laps in of this 90-lap race. Thomas O'Connor in the lead by 1.7 seconds over Dylan Emerson in that number 6, trying to work their way here for that championship. Obviously coming down to the end of the season here for Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, I believe. Let me double check their schedule. Let's see, where are they at? I know they got them in here, and I'm sure they got the standings somewhere. Had to think what I wanted to say. Oh, I know what happened. Let me go into Discord and actually pick up Carl. And I'm just talking here on the mic. I'm not even in the broadcast booth. But my broadcasting partner's wondering where the heck I'm at. I'm here.
Hey,
I'm
I'll
here.
join you.
Yeah, no, I'd have to join it. I have all my things are set I don't have to be in Discord in order to broadcast them. I had to reset, Carl. And the OBS did not want to play nice as I was going getting like 50 kilobytes. So it was like skipping every frame. So I actually I rebooted everything a couple times. And all of a sudden, boom, they come back. I don't know. But yeah, just making sure the sound is good to go. We're 28 laps in here at Worldwide Technology. I believe it is Halloween night. As you can see out there, all the Halloween-themed cars. And we were just pointing out some of the ones that were out there that are maybe some of the favorites of fans. It's really kind of hard to pick one out because a lot of them look so good. But 28 laps in, had a couple cautions early on. Now on a nice little green flag run. Thomas O'Connor out front over Dylan Emerson and Richard Covington.
Yeah, certainly. I'm sure you touched on how unique this track is here at Gateway. Well, formerly known as Gateway, Worldwide Technology Raceway. Kind of a little brother, little sister to Darlington, roughly about the same shape, but a lot flatter here, and it takes a lot more patience getting on the throttle out of these corners. So we'll see. See how these drivers can tackle it for the rest of the race here, but not sure if you did mention either of these things as well. First, Dylan Emerson is your points champion this season since he started the race here. He is locked in as your points champion for this season here for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. So congrats to Dylan Emerson. We'll I'm sure get to talk to him up here in the booth. If he's not in the top three, we'll get him up here, and we'll wish him congratulations on his championship, as he did have 2 wins on the season. Hopefully he can try and get up there and maybe finish with a 3rd win, maybe even a 4th win with Phoenix next week. But it's always nice to be able to go to that final race of the season already locked in as the champion for sure. And the other thing too as well is this is a home race for quite a few drivers in PRS Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. I'm gonna get that acronym right one of these times. Ooh,
slight lock up there by the 91. Yeah.
As this is the home track for your champion Dylan Emerson, Kyle Emerson, Anthony Emerson, obviously all the Emersons, Matthew Hake, and Cody Handler. So 5 drivers here in Pit Road call Worldwide Technology their home track, and right now Thomas O'Connor is the one that doesn't mind calling it home for the time being as well, looking to try and grab his 2nd win on the season. Winner back at Dover, and I can't really say that anything about Dover is like Worldwide Technology. I mean, Dover obviously 1 mile track, so it's a little bit smaller than WWT, and it's a lot more banking, it's a lot more concrete, it's all concrete compared to here. So sometimes the tracks just fit your eye, but oof, that was a rough one there for Kent Bice and the outside wall, and have seen that a couple times. Again, this track is a lot flatter, and it's almost kind of drives like a short track, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's not a track that likes my driving style at all. I always struggled here. The few times that I've raced here, I've raced at a bunch of the street stocks, and that car is just a different animal compared to what's out on the track right now. These cars have a ton more power. They do have more grip, but it gets super simple to get so much speed down these nice long straightaways to get it slowed down, and you can't overdrive the car. There's a lot of kind of a coasting around these corners, but these drivers tonight, Carl, they are going with the downshifting method, going down all the way into 3rd gear from 5th in some cases to really hug that inner line before the corner. But you can see the pit stops are underway here. We'll go ahead and bring up the tower so you can see when your favorite driver pit here tonight. And I'll go ahead, I'll just move this down here so you can see when everybody kind of came in. Still, even the only person that has not come in yet is that number 91, and the 91 hasn't come in yet, and TJ Hanley has not come in yet either. So TJ Hanley was in on lap number 6, so we'll be able to stretch it out just a little bit, and almost like kind of a good thing. Like if a caution were to happen right now, TJ Hanley, looking to keep a few drivers, some laps down here until, maybe somebody else comes out, and maybe even the drivers that are still in the pits right now. You talk about this track kind of being like driving like a short track. Look how many drivers are down, and TJ Hanley and Ron Millum out there on the track right now. I don't know where Ron went. I don't know where Ron went. I think he dropped off for a second. He is on the. He did come. I see him pitting in.
There he is. Yep.
But definitely looking to keep things going here tonight. So, but right now TJ out there able to kind of stretch this thing a little bit longer, and he can end up trapping a lot of, just be in a good position. If something happens and is able to stay out there. You got Emerson and O'Connor that when running up front that are back on the lead lap, but they're behind Hanley right now. So there's a lot of things that could happen if a caution were to come out right now. I'm not saying a caution is going to happen right now, but that could happen. It is not what a lot of these drivers would like to happen, except somebody like Hanley right at the moment, and maybe even Emerson or O'Connor. It really would make their evening a little bit easier as we're closing in on that halfway mark. We're already on lap 38 of 90, so these drivers really kind of taking it to the track. Like I said, we just had a couple early cautions, but since then, it's been all, nothing but green.
I mean, he had to just, finally get me up here in the booth to.
I was just,
racing,
but I must have got caught a Mexican flu bug, after, going down there with CSRL and, and that new course they got down there, which is very interesting. If you got a chance to get in the road cars and get a chance to run the new track down there in Mexico, it's definitely a challenging one for sure. But TJ Hanley brings the number 27 down in the pits. It's going to allow a lot of drivers to get back on that lead lap. Maybe trying to, I don't know I don't think they can make it the whole way there, as they did make pit stops there on lap 30. They would only, even if he went another 35 laps or so, you're looking at, maybe 75. So at least one more pit stop, at least for the number 27. And we'll see how the others choose. But Dylan Emerson and the number 6, your points winner for the season here, out front, getting things done.
Yeah, I thought it'd be hard enough crossing the Mexican border, but luckily the wall isn't fully built, so I can get back over here to World Wax Technology. It was harder finding you, and clearly I was looking at all the wrong spots. But,
I wasn't even in the Discord.
Exactly.
I just happened to look over. I'm like, why do I have? Oh, whoa, what do you mean, Jimmy? Where you at? I'm right here.
Well, a good pit stop there for Dylan Emerson, and I mean it was only one lap, but maybe it was a short pit that got it done. Both Dylan Emerson and Thomas O'Connor with a 15.05 second pit stop, exactly the same pit stop, but the pit lane time. Dylan Emerson was about a second, almost a second and a half faster for the entire pit lane time, and that is what's gotten him the lead right now, because he was behind O'Connor when the pit cycle started, but the 6 now in the lead, but not by much, as he is only 1.75 seconds in front right now. Thomas O'Connor, I guess appropriately, when I looked at the time there, since it's Halloween night, he was 6.66 seconds in front of the next car. So, yeah, I mean, pretty big gaps here for the top drivers right now, and it's really kind of a 2-car breakaway, and almost going to be a 1-car breakaway as Emerson trying to stretch it out to a 2-second lead. But after that, you got Richard Covington there in third, Tiffany Ellis, Kyle Emerson rounding out your top 5. Josh Duncan, Dylan Jacobs currently holding the fastest lap of the race with a 32.70. Actually, that has been bested since I last looked. It's Thomas O'Connor with a 32.64. But Jacobs back there in 7th, Matthew Hake, Tim Felker, and Cody Brewer rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, it's just so far so good since the drop of the from the last caution there that we had, and they just had a couple quick ones. Obviously cold tires being a big part, and then a restart with the spinning a little bit of an accordion effect to kind of people getting kind of start and stop going. That doesn't work well in most restarts. It did eventually catch somebody spinning them around. So. And some of those drivers being caught up in that. But right now it's been by lean and green here, and a lot of drivers doing a fantastic job here tonight. And Dylan obviously out there, maybe out there on some celebratory laps here, early, as there's still this race here tonight for the drivers, and Thomas O'Connor trying to get another win here in that 18. But the paint jobs, Carl, they got me all, I'm like just happy, because you know how much that I love.
Exactly. Yeah, you're in your happy zone right now. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you want to just sit back and just admire these paint schemes, I'll take over for the second half of the race.
I mean, the fans out there will see nothing but the close-ups of these cars. They're just the paint. I mean, just if you see me kind of like going through these, especially Tiffany's, definitely pointed that out here tonight, and just the way whoever painted that car put this thing together is just, it was amazing. It was a good collage of all the good horror films out there, a lot of favorites. So just definitely shout out to whoever painted that car for sure. And that, you know, I have a feeling that it's somebody actually in the league itself. So just so many good looking cars out there, even the ones that aren't Halloween schemed are looking good. The Michelob Ultra looks pretty good, especially the white and blue on the Ford. That's iconic. You know, you can't beat an Earnhardt scheme. That's just iconic in itself. Let's see, Cody Brewer's in the Raptor, always sporting that yellow, that bright yellow and black number 12.
Well, what is it about the 12 and kind of those yellow colors? Obviously, over in core, we got Dave Tilford in the kind of like the puke yellow. Yeah, but he's the 12 also. I don't know.
TJ out there sporting the pink THD designs, and always one out there if you need a paint scheme. I know you can get with TJ, and he can get you something whipped up, and maybe he's behind all these other Halloween schemes. I don't know. I guess we'd find out if we got a chance to talk to him, but a lot of good paint schemes out there tonight. Like I said, even some of the standard paints are looking good. Hocus Pocus. Kent was up front in the beginning of the race, and not quite sure why he went into the pits early, but he ended up going into the pits early, and then we seen him tag the wall and take some pretty heavy right front damage, but it looked like he's back on the move again as he's back up in the P13. So you got Jurassic Park out there at the number 43, Austin Wells and an It Machine in the 81, Kelly Akron always supporting America with the chrome and the red, white, and blue schemes. Cody Hammer out there, the St. Louis Blues, and Tim out there with the Silence of the Lambs. So it was just great. And here's another one, the Saw Machine, number 42. And it just the paint schemes are just awesome here tonight.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely your wheelhouse here tonight, and this is. I think you missed it. I forget it was if it was this series or another series that we covered that you missed the other Halloween night. But good that we got you back here for this Halloween night here for Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, as they're doing good here since I finally got to join the booth here. It's been a nice little green flag run as we're already crossing into lap number 50 here, and we're down to the last 40 laps to go. Dylan Emerson in the lead. The lead's cut down though. It is down to 0.6 of a second. Thomas O'Connor really chewing into that lead with some good consistent lap times, and now right behind at the 6, Richard Covington Jr. is about 8.8 seconds back, so it's a real big 2-car breakaway here tonight with Tiffany Ellis in 4th, Josh Duncan in 5th, Dylan Jacobs, Kyle Emerson, TJ Hanley, Cody Brewer, and Ron Millam now back up into the top 10 as well. We still got plenty of racing to go. We're still going to see one more pit stop, I think, before this night is over as well. And depending on when that pit stop is, we end up having to get a splash and go before this thing is over. We'll see how it plays out. But Dylan Emerson currently leads the way. Thomas O'Connor looking to get that lead back.
Yeah, he's been driving. It was pretty quick there early on. To get up there, and obviously closing down Dylan slowly but surely. You can see the lead kind of dwindling just a little bit, so Thomas really trying to work the wheels on the 18 here to catch that 6 and get himself another great finish here. Richard Covington obviously trying to track them down as well. So I'll go ahead and bring up the tower here so you guys can really see what that gap is for all the drivers. Do have 12 drivers still in the lead lap of the 20 that are out here. A couple drivers 1 lap down and a couple 2 laps down. And like I said, this track, like you talked about how it was drove like a short track. Is this maybe not their forte? We don't know. That's not my forte, and I would struggle on this track for sure. There's always one that I can never conserve tires very well. I can always get in lap times for a qualifying run, 4 or 5 laps really well, and next thing you know, I am in danger of just driving into the wall, and it wasn't a good feeling. So I never really had like a lot of fun here on this track for myself, but some of these drivers are having fun as it's their home track and trying to get a win here, especially towards the end of the season here for pit road speed limit racing. But yeah, right now Emerson out front by 1.5 seconds over O'Connor, and then Covington, Ellis, Duncan, Hanley, Millen, Brewer, Ballard, and Bice now back up to 10th.
So, Jimmy, since it is a scary movie night here, why don't we do a little theme out there, and we'll even put the question out there for everyone out there in the CRN audience. But what is your favorite scary movie?
Favorite scary movie?
I'll give you some time to think about it. I'll tell you what mine was when I was a kid. When I was a young lad.
When I was a kid? Mine was
well, what I'm saying is when I was a kid, probably the one that resonates with me the most, I don't know if I've seen it maybe once or twice since, but at the same time that Days of Thunder was in the movie theaters, to date me a little bit here, Arachnophobia also came out. So my dad took me to the movie theaters. I thought we were going to see Days of Thunder. No. He took me to see Arachnophobia, and little, needless to say, I was not a big fan of spiders as a little kid. So that has stuck with me for all these years. So at the end of the day, it's not really. It's just kind of one of more of those kind of creepy movies, get you the creepy crawlies going. But yeah, that's a story that stuck with me for my entire life. That I thought we were going to see Days of Thunder. No, Arachnophobia. Here you go. Get over it.
Yeah, I think scary movies. The ones that I didn't care for was what's it called? I know Smile is up there. I think because they deal with the dentist, and I really hate dentists. But I try not to go there unless I absolutely have to. So brush my teeth every day, floss as much as possible. I try to stay away from the dentist. Just not my favorite people in the world for sure, but. Some of these drivers, I think, trying to stretch out their fuel here, Carl, late in the race, so maybe they only have to pit one more time. Pass there by the 7 over Josh Duncan getting around Tiffany Ellis. This is the closest battle on the track at the moment. Some of the other battles are back here with Chase Ballard and Cody Brewer, but you can see they are about half a second apart so far. Dylan Emerson still has a 0.6 lead over Thomas O'Connor, but yeah, I think we're starting to get in that window where these drivers will be starting to think about coming in for a last and final pit stop as we're coming up on lap number 60. So I can see other drivers coming in and taking that pit stop and maybe coming in a little bit early, maybe to get that undercut or try to make the undercut work. But if somebody has a better pit lane time, it can really benefit here on the track. As some of these drivers are really trying to figure out what's the best way to get these cars around here. And I think overall they're doing a pretty good job. Still got 9 cars on the lead lap, but we are under pit times as you see Ellis and Brewer coming in, now Emerson in. So maybe some undercut going on here to the end for the last final 30 laps.
It certainly worked last time for Dylan Emerson, seeing if he can maybe do it again here and catch Thomas O'Connor off guard and get that lead back here as Richard Covington is 9 seconds back here, and it's kind of amazing to have a big 2-car breakaway like this here at Worldwide Technology. But it looks like right here, Thomas O'Connor not wasting any time, coming in right away again. Last time it was only a 1-lap difference, but it was enough for Dylan Emerson to get the lead. We'll see if the lead changes hands here once again on the pit stop cycle. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. It gets you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. We got plenty of racing action. We're back to 7 races a week as we got the 191 Motorsports on Sunday night. Monday nights we got Hold Your Brakes Academy. Tuesday we have the Core Xfinity Series. Wednesday here tonight we have the doubleheader. We have CSRL, and then we have PRSLR right here. And then on Thursday nights we have another doubleheader, and that is the Virtual Velocity Racing VDR and the Core GT Series. So 7 different series over 5 nights. So I mean that's scary right there when you just think of everything that we're putting on here at CRN. But it's great, and we love all the series that we cover out here, and we love the opportunity to put on the show for all the fans out there. So as the fans, all we do is ask you to hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe, and all it does is it helps get these videos up there in the YouTube algorithms a little bit more, and a chance for Pit Road to have their videos up there on the top of the search results for everyone out there. But you see, Dylan Emerson has gotten out in front of Thomas O'Connor. Another fantastic stop for the 6 team, and this time once again, as that's not the way to take that corner for sure, and going to lose plenty of time. And we got a car spinning on the backstretch. That is Chase Bullard, but we're going to keep it green here, as that was off the racing line for the 54. But as I was mentioning, Dylan Emerson, the pit lane time, or the pit time in his stall, was actually a smidge slower than Thomas O'Connor. But again, the overall pit lane time gapping Thomas O'Connor by a full second, and actually 1.1 seconds almost. So it has been a masterclass getting in and off of pit road for Dylan Emerson. Will it lead to his 3rd win on the season and cap off this championship winning night by grabbing the win here tonight? We still got one more race left in the series at Phoenix, as there it is, a 43 gets sideways, stopped on the track, and that will bring out a caution because he stopped on the track. So we will have a late race caution right kind of in the midst of some of these drivers coming in the pits. TJ Hanley, Ron Millam, big benefactors.
TJ Hanley and Ron Millam are going to pay off big here, because they're the only 2 that are still on the lead lap. Now Matthew Hake being the first one a lap down will get the lucky dog, but Emerson and O'Connor have already been in the pits, Carl, so that's going to play out big there for Hanley and Millam, as obviously tires are such a huge benefactor here. And I'll go ahead and put up that pit lap for you, so you can see when those drivers come in, and we're coming down the last 25 laps now. It's a 90 lap race, so you're looking at maybe 5 lap difference or so, 6 lap difference, but might be enough for TJ Hanley or Ron Millam to overcome Emerson and O'Connor, and to maybe come away here with a win, or P2 the way they're sitting out. And you can see Hanley's in, of course, up there. You can see the lights ran red up there. It says pit lane for Hanley as he comes in. But yeah, they're going to be right back up there with the leaders.
Yeah, shout out to Kathy Ellis and all the fans out there putting out their favorite scary movies. I remember one night again when I was little, we used to obviously be able to go to like Blockbuster and rent movies back in the day, which was so exactly so nice. But I remember we ended up getting I think it was Cujo and the Birds, both in one night. So that was a heck of a movie night for sure, scary movie wise. But I'll get another one out here for you while we're in the scary movie theme. How about your favorite Stephen King, either movie or book?
Yeah, there's plenty of Stephen King movies out there. Not much of a book reader. I
figured I'd throw that in there just for any of the book readers out there.
I'm sure there's plenty of book readers out there. I was always the guy out there fiddling with things. You kind of learn the OJT, your hands-on, and anytime I got an instruction booklet, if it didn't have photos, it just kind of got thrown in the box, And even today, I mean, Carl knows how much I enjoy putting Legos together. I got Lego cars. I got stuff from Lego Yellowstone stuff. I got Lego Harry Potter. I got Lego Marvel. I got Lego. There's all kinds of Legos all over this house, and I'm talking not just small Legos. I'm talking like Legos that are like 3,500 plus pieces that I like to put together, and it can take anywhere between 2 days to 3 days. The Technic cars I did are really tiny pieces, and they take me about 4 or 5 days of quite a few hours to put them together. But I enjoy doing that stuff. But they have pictures of Okay, they don't have words. I don't have to read nothing. They got these pamphlets that are like 500 pages or 500 to 1,000 steps to put these things together. All pictures. I loved them.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Well, I'm gonna
Emma
put
hates clowns.
I'm gonna put a poll up there, and for some that may not know, last movie. So we got 4 different Stephen King movies. You got It, Pet Sematary, The Mist. And how about Shawshank Redemption? Jimmy, did you know that was actually a Stephen King based movie?
No, see, like as much as I love Halloween, I'm not like a super like horror movie fan. I love Halloween. I love the theme. I love the themes. I love the scary characters. But like watching the movies, just some of them are kind of silly. Why would you make that decision? Think that, so they don't. I don't get that. My wife really loved the Terrifier series, and matter of fact, that was one of the main reasons we ended up going to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando this year. And she went and did that. But my favorite Halloween house at Orlando this year was Jason. It was by far, we got in there at a pretty decent clip. Had to wait about 45 minutes to get in, but it was well worth the wait. It was scary, Jason all over the place. Even all my 10-year-old goes to Halloween Horror Nights with us. He loved it. It was a great house. Obviously there was other houses up there. They had Jason, and they had Wyatt Six from the WWE, believe it or not. If you look in his background, some of the scary characters, pretty good house. Terrifier was up there, Five Nights at Freddy's, and a few others. So definitely, if you get a chance, or you can get into Halloween Horror Nights or any of the parks that have those themes, they're usually pretty enjoyable. But definitely had a fun time here tonight, or there that night. But tonight it's TJ Hanley out front with them newer tires, and the 6 taking a send. Dylan Emerson, and maybe too much. That's going to lose some momentum coming out of the corner. That's going to give 18 of Thomas O'Connor the advantage down to the inside. But those 2 cars, the 27 and 91 out front, Carl.
6 trying to fight off the 18 there, and we're going to get another caution here. As it looks like Austin Wells having some issues. I was going to say it's a bit of a scary caution flag for Dylan Emerson and Thomas O'Connor, because they had this thing dominated before that caution, and now with the caution, and now here another one, they're going to see the back end of TJ Hanley and Ron Millam, and it could potentially make this the chance of them walking away and one of them easily getting the win here tonight kind of thrown out the window, as the 7 there hard into the 81 into the side there for Austin Wells and Josh Duncan. But it's going to bring us under another caution here, as mentioned. And as you get you back live here, you see the amount of laps that is starting to tick down here. It is very few laps left to go. We're looking at 22 laps to go. Yeah, 20. Well, be actually 20 laps to go this time by. So it is it's ticking down here, and it's getting to that point where it's go time, and it's hard to say at a track like Worldwide Technology, because you're kind of more racing the track than you're racing everybody else. So this track demands a lot of attention.
Yeah, the track demands a lot of attention, and it's really easy. Like I was telling the fans out there earlier, it's super easy to drive, or overdrive, not easy to drive, overdrive. Because you come down in these corners off these nice long straightaways, and then like the corners are so unique, and they don't have a lot of banking. But yeah, the TJ Hanley and Ron Millam out there, I think they have the newest tire. Well, Emerson and O'Connor, it looks like they came in and got new tires as well after the others came in. So maybe a good call, make sure that they have the same tires as their competitors in front of them, and allowed a few more drivers to get up on that lead lap. So now, we have 10. It's going to be Hanley, Millam, Emerson, O'Connor, Covington, Ellis, Bice, Hake, Duncan, and Ballard. back there that's currently in the pits. And, not a bad call for Duncan and Ballard, as, they'll be able to come back out. They'll be back only a few spots. But coming down to the end of the race, Carl, and with only 20 laps to go, it's the end of the season. There is one more race of the season remaining, everybody, and it's going to be at Phoenix. So it's, we're going to be here one more next week to wrap up the season with Pit Road Speed Limit Racing until they decide to bring us back for their next season or, race another night. So, it's most leagues take a small break. We'll see how much of a break they take, and if they want us back, we'll be here. And if not, we wish them the best of luck as always, as any league that we're involved with. But the lights are off in the pace car. They're coming down the back straightaway. Nice long straightaway here. They're going up too wide here. One more time. TJ Hanley and Ron Millam trying to hold on as the drivers behind want their spots back, Carl.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they definitely have the speed to pull away from everybody, but do they have the speed to get back to the lead? This is going to be an interesting way to finish this race out, as we got TJ Hanley and Ron Millam, your leaders at the front. Pace car lights are out. We're going to go back to green flag racing here. 17 laps to go when that green flag drops. And we'll get one more poll up here before we get the who you got for the race. And Jimmy, we'll go with another one here. We'll go with the villains. So we got Jason, Freddie, Michael, or Chucky.
That's a like any of them.
Yes.
The only one
Yes.
one of the animatronics I don't have is Chucky, and I need to get that little sucker to put in my yard here for Halloween. But here we are back on the green, 17 laps to go, as we're trying to get this thing wrapped up here tonight. Kent Bice was up at the front in the beginning, led a few laps, fell back, pitted early, like super early for some reason, but back out there. As Barry was saying, I'm for the number one tonight, and he was going in the pits for no apparent reason. So Barry was like, oh, what's happening? But, here he comes. Here comes the number one working our way. 18 of O'Connor up high. So really pushing maybe a little too hard and getting loose, following back. Tiffany Ellis is going to make that move. Tiffany Ellis back up into P number 6. But we're going to have to battle with O'Connor on the outside.
Battle up there in second place as the 6. Or actually, third place, the 6 and the 21 going at it. Meanwhile, TJ Hanley trying to run away from the field here. 1.7 second lead for the 27. We said earlier it seemed like Ron Millam and Dylan Emerson were the ones, Dylan Emerson and Thomas O'Connor were the ones that were going to run away with this. They are stuck in the pack, 4th and 6th position respectively. They are stuck in traffic. Maybe those cars aren't handling as well with dirty air. You see right there, the 6 having some major issues getting around the Ghostbusters number 21. Big move there and a big block from Matthew Hake to keep Thomas O'Connor behind as the 13 heads into the corner, holds on the lead. And wow, that was that got real close real quick, but it is starting to get down to the end here. We got 14 laps to go, 13 coming up here real soon. TJ Hanley, Ron Millam, Dylan Emerson, Richard Covington Jr., and Matthew Hake for your top 5 coming off the corner. That got real close as well. And then you got Thomas O'Connor, Josh Duncan, Kent Bice, Tiffany Ellis, and Chase Bullard for your top 10. But I feel like that could change about 15 times before this thing is over.
Yeah, it's amazing how that's this track can be, and if these drivers, this is their home track, they like driving this thing, and they're trying to push these cars as hard as possible to get the finish that they would like to deserve here tonight. In the 13, making things happen, getting around the 21. Moved that 13 of Matthew Hake up into P number 4. So good run for the number 13 here tonight. And I'm sure he would love to get a win, but laps are dwindling as TJ Hanley is now out to almost a 1 second lead over Ron Millam, as the drivers behind them are battling it out. And now the 6 of Dylan Emerson trying to find the line, the speed, the pace, whatever he can do to catch up to those two, as he was been up front pretty much all night. Something is up with Tiffany Ellis, as Tiffany is down in the pits. Not quite sure what happened there. as this thing has come down to end. Maybe not enough fuel to get there to the end, so coming down. But 27 of TJ Hanley, I believe, has the fuel to go. We will see as this thing winds down with only 11 laps to go.
It'll be 10 here at the line. It is 1.3 seconds between TJ Hanley and now Dylan Emerson, who's finally up into second place. Does Emerson have the speed to get up there and claim the victory? The championship is already locked up for Dylan Emerson, so kind of let your hair down moment for the rest of the season. Go after it. You got nothing to lose. We'll see if Emerson can catch up to Hanley. Millam still hanging on to third place, doing a great job, but keep an eye out on that 13 of Matthew Hake, working way through the pack here late, and he's got that 13 up into fourth, already on the back bumper of Millam. As you look right behind them, the 21 and 18 still doing battle for fifth and sixth. This is coming down to the end here, as now we got 9 laps left in this race, and we'll get the poll up here in a second to see who you got out there. It's going to be tough for these drivers to catch up and pass TJ Hanley, as he's looking mighty fine here at the end of this race.
Yeah, TJ Hanley just try and drive away with one of the only cars with clean air. But Dylan Emerson obviously back there just a little bit, but still has that clean air. Still has to chase down TJ Hanley, and we've seen TJ have some pretty good runs during the season. So to get a victory here tonight, I'm sure he would love to have that, as we only have 8 laps to go. But still a few drivers battling out, and it all begins back here with Richard Covington and Matthew Hake. Somebody blinked out on me as I was choosing them. But Matthew Hake back here, and then obviously you just got Thomas O'Connor now going down to the inside, trying to make something work. It's going to leave the 13 out there and maybe slow down his momentum. So maybe a scare tactic there for the end of the race, and that's going to pay off big as Thomas O'Connor makes it by, and so does the 7 of Duncan and Kent Bice, dropping Matthew Hake all the way back to P number 8. But Kent Bice, like we said earlier, he's still down 5 spots from the start. He was up front at the beginning, so good comeback here for Kent, if he doesn't make it back to the lead.
Down to the end here, so we got the poll up there. Who you got? You got the 27 of TJ Hanley, the 6 of Dylan Emerson, the 91 of Ron Millam, or the 21 of Richard Covington Jr. As you see, the 18 there sends it into turn 1, and maybe a little aggressive there, trying to get back up through the field for Thomas O'Connor into the side of Josh Duncan. And that is going to bring out a late race caution, and now we're going to group this field back up here once again, and this is going to get very interesting. Oh, looks like a double whammy there, as maybe the bump would have been to the front end and kept that 7 straight, but unfortunately got a shot there from the Hocus Pocus number 1 of Kent Bice, and kind of sent him in a perfect spot to get spun around here late. It was a good run finishing up there for Duncan, but now it's going to be a fight back to try and get up here to the top 5.
A tough break for the 7, as he was having a pretty decent run going. And when I bring up the tower here, we got 5 laps to go, so this will probably be an unofficial green-white checker here at the end for these drivers. So it's not over, and then what are you doing here? Like, who's going to come in, who's going to take tires for these last and final laps? Some drivers still spinning around there in the back. Kind of see what's going on with Chase Ballard back there. See what happened. Thought I seen some other cars down off the track.
Oh, catching up to the field and into the back of the 19 of Cody Handler extremely hard.
Oh, he's definitely not trying to do that. So tough break for those 2 drivers there getting involved, and you can see a couple drivers coming in to get tires. Thomas O'Connor, Matthew Hake, Ballard, Felker, Handler, Emerson, and Ellis all in the pits. And Ellis,
I'm wondering, O'Connor maybe had had some damage to the front end of that 18 as well. So maybe getting that thing touched up before they get to the end here to try and get a top 5 locked in. Josh Duncan is going to stay out, so he's going to stay in 6th. So top 6 is going to be TJ Hanley, Dylan Emerson, Ron Millam, Richard Covington Jr., Ken Bice, and Josh Duncan. And then Thomas O'Connor going to come out of the pits in 1st. He's going to file back out in 7th. Matthew Hake in 8th. Looks like Cody Brewer is going to come out in 9th and Chase Bullard for 10th place. So this is it's going to get very interesting here as looks like the 27 may be trying to cool those tires down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Heading through the grass. Or, maybe just trying to earn a few extra bucks mowing the grass here at Worldwide Technology.
gotta pay for that fuel that they use out there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure TJ trying to use the grass to a little bit to cool them tires off, knowing that he's in a little bit of a sticky predicament as a few drivers behind him, and you can see who has come in: O'Connor, Hake, Bullard, Brewer, and yeah, those drivers in the back there won't be too far behind them either. We'll be trying to come for them, and you're going to see some pretty aggressive driving from those drivers to try to make up positions or possibly, steal the win. Can they make it happen? Can they get by their competitors clean enough and not wreck themselves or another driver to walk away with a podium finish? We're going to find out. Things are about to get mixed up here, Carl. I don't know if your poll is going to stand and who you have up there, but it's definitely going to be an interesting one here. It is not over yet. We have 3 laps to go. Lights are off on the pace car, coming down the backstretch, heading down into turn number 3, getting ready to go back to green. Let's get this thing over with and see who will walk away the winner here tonight at Worldwide Technology.
Yeah, we've seen the 6 dive it into the outside of turn number 1 on the previous restart. Now he's going to be starting on the outside of the front row. Can he get the restart alongside TJ Hanley, who's going to have control? Going to be the first one to get on that loud pedal. We hit the restart zone, and the 27 hits the loud pedal. We are back to racing here at Worldwide Technology. Big restart for the 27. You see the 6 right there in second, side by side for third between Covington and Ron Millam, and that's going to be another caution here. And that will bring us to our official green-white checkered, as 7 not having a good end to this race, and looks like going to tow it back to pit lane now. So give us a chance to restart this thing again. We'll take a look back and see what happened here. Certainly quite a bit of cars trying to go for one little bit of real estate in turn number 1. It looked like almost 4 wide.
Yeah, it was definitely a handful here, and you could see them coming down in the turn 1. A pretty decent start for everybody, but as you get down in there, you're trying to push these cars the final laps, but it looks like the 7 gets a little shoved there by the 13 and sends them out wide there, and then ultimately ends turning them around in front of the 13 and sliding up into the 60. And then going to go take a ride to the wall there. So tough break for the 7. I'm sure he's not happy about that one, but a few drivers still coming around. The 81 tags a 7 as well, getting involved. Probably some some heavy right front damage for the 81 of who is the 81? That's Austin Wells. So definitely not a good night for a few drivers, but we're going to go back to green here shortly, but we still have to do a couple more pace laps as these cars are putting on a show here tonight, trying to finish this thing up, trying to get a victory, trying to get that win. Only tonight's race and one more to go to get that victory for the season before the next one begins. I'm sure they'll be on a short break like most leagues do as the admins put something together and put a schedule on the table and see who wants to come out and race. And we hope to see all these drivers back. And if you're out there listening or watching and you need a place to race here on Wednesday nights, not only here on CRN, but with Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. I don't know if they'll be doing the next-gen cars like they're doing this season. Who knows? Maybe mix it up and bring in the Xfinity car or the trucks or whatever. A lot of leagues like to make the small changes like that to keep things fresh for their drivers. But right now, I run those next gens for tonight and one next week at Phoenix And then I'm sure, like I said, they'll probably take a break before they come back and put something else out, whether it's a short run to the end of the year or, and something that just keeps on going. And through the holidays, usually the holidays you see a lot of drivers take vacations or just take time off or whatever. But me and Carl, we just kind of seem to be here all the time.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. If you want us here, we are here, and that's really what matters. And that's why CRN is why I was born in the first place. If we are going to be here, or we will find somebody to replace
our race
it.
Attendance is extremely high.
Yes,
like a 99.9%.
Yeah, no drop races, no provisionals for us. We are here time and time again. Well, it looks like everyone out there in CRN Nation loving that 27 right here. He's going to be the control car here once again. Can the 6 of Dylan Emerson get a good restart this time and stay with him? Maybe get a chance for a little bump and run before this thing is over. This is our one and only green, white checkered. We are going to get the green this time by as the pace car lights are out. TJ Hanley, is going to be in control here once again as that pace car makes one final left-hand turn here tonight. All eyes on the 27. When will he hit the gas pedal as we now hit the restart zone? And once again, he hits the loud pedal. Great restart for the 27. Great restart for the 21 of Richard Covington as well. It's going to be side by side end to one, but the 6 going to dive it in there. How about the 13 from behind diving it in there too, but not going to be able to get it to rotate. The 6 is with the 27. This thing is not over just yet, but a yellow flag is going to end this race.
Oh, Anthony Emerson. We'll go back and check that out here soon, but I think this should end the race here, Carl.
That is,
this will be the end of the race.
That's the last one right there. So they'll officially get the yellow and white flag here together, and then next time by, they will get the yellow and checkered flag. That is going to end the race. TJ Hanley going to hold on and grab himself another win here on the season. So certainly congrats to him. The 6, gotta feel like one was taken away from him here late with all of these cautions. Just couldn't get back to that top spot. We'll talk to him certainly after this race. But this ended up being a good one that resulted in TJ Hanley grabbing his fourth win on the season, but last one coming way back at Nashville. So it's been quite some time since we've seen TJ Hanley in victory lane, but he's going to celebrate here on the front stretch right in. Actually, I think he's got to finish this race first. I don't think he realized that.
Did he want to finish it backwards?
Well, all joking aside, this may cost him the win.
That might cost him a win as it moved Richard Covington to the win over with Matthew Hake and Kent Bice in third. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll wait for everything to be official, but you have to cross the checkered flag here, and he did not. He spun around first, and it's showing TJ Hanley as 5th place right now. We'll wait till everyone crosses the line, and looks like they finally did. And so it's going to be Richard Covington, your winner here tonight. Under caution. I mean, I know drivers have gotten penalized for passing under caution, but when the drivers in front of you spin and wreck out, you can. And this very well could be official with Richard Covington, Matthew Haig, and and Kent Bice for your top 3. We'll wait to get an official word here,
he went past the pace car to kind of celebrate and finish backwards. Didn't get the car spun around fast enough, and then ended up wrecking others. The 6, the 13 getting involved, the 91, but yeah, just kind of maybe a little too early, get a little overzealous and excited to get the win, but it's going to be stolen here officially. So I don't know, do we need to have an admin kind of come in here and say who the official winner is? Because I know if I go to my results here, and I pulled the results here for SDK, it'll show Richard Covington, and then when I go to iRacing official results, it's Richard Covington. So Unfortunately, if this is what I have to go to, Richard Covington will be your winner here tonight with Matthew Hake in second and Kent Bice after jumping the start, as we've seen in the chat, and getting sent into the pits, makes his way back up to P number 3 for a podium finish. What a turn of events under caution.
This thing is certainly unofficial right now. We'll give you the full unofficial rundown of tonight's order as the admins confer and decide what's going to be decided here for tonight's race. As unofficially, it's Richard Covington Jr. your winner, Matthew Hake, Kent Bice, Chase Bullard, T.J. Hanley for your top 5, Thomas O'Connor, Ron Millam, Tim Felker, Dylan Emerson, and Will O'Connor for your top 10. Then you got Cody Brewer, Bruce Spencer, Kyle Emerson, Kelly Akron, Cody Handler for your top 15, Anthony Emerson, Josh Duncan, Tiffany Ellis, Austin Wells, and Dylan Jacobs for your top 20. We'll await the admin's decision here. As soon as they have a decision, we'll let you out there in CRN Nation know. But while you have some time, that's the best time to hit that little thumbs up and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, and hit that subscribe as well. Again, we're not done here for the week. We still got some racing action coming up tomorrow night, as we got the Virtual Velocity Racing Series back in action, as we got a chance to cover the Core GT Series last week. And then see them race at Mexico before we had CSRL Mexico here tonight. But Virtual Velocity Racing is going to be at another one that could feel like a road course. They're at Rockingham Speedway tomorrow night, and that is a rough track. We'll see how the Xfinity cars handle the rock tomorrow night, and then the Core GT Series is going to head overseas to Circuit de Barcelona. They're going to head to Catalonia for tomorrow night's race. As once again, we'll wait to get the official results. So feel free to stick around here.
The fans got me laughing, Carl. If you read the chat, Tiffany left to watch the Blue Jay game, and then Barry doesn't know what's going on with question marks and says, darn. And then Tater joins in and says, what in the Mark Martin is this?
Yes,
big mistake. It's like dropping, Lisa's out there. This is like an NFL player dropping the football on before the end zone. All over again. And that, if you haven't seen the show, there's a show out there called about a football player that was in the Rose Bowl or something and dropped the ball before the start-finish line, and he has some handicapped kid that was in a chair, and he ended up punching the dad, and the dad fell on the kid, and just, I don't know. It's a big, I forget what it's called. It's on, I think it's on Peacock, but it's definitely, it was a funny show to watch if you're looking for something to watch out there on sports type TV series, but a lot of fun. But yeah, waiting for these official results from the admins is what we're kind of going down to. Obviously, we usually just go by what official for iRacing, but that was a little bit of at the end. So I mean, it might just very well be Richard Covington, Matthew Hake, and Kent Bice, but I thought we would have to back it up at before that happened, and I'm sure they're talking it out. Hopefully we'll get somebody in here tonight to talk to. As maybe Carl is discussing that right now with the admins, and we try to work closely. We don't want obviously things happen and maybe they just started celebrating early, and I mean, we know that they're celebrating early, that's for sure. It's just kind of stinks that it would happen. I see a lot of people down there, and we're trying to make sure we get things going. Carl's back now, so what's the word, Carl?
So they're still working on the full race results here tonight, but because of the issue there at the end of the race, TJ Hanley DQ'd from the race results here tonight, and the race order is gonna shake up because he ended up getting involved with a couple other cars on the way to the checker flag. So your winner tonight is gonna be Dylan Emerson. So the championship winner is also gonna win tonight's race as well. Second place is gonna go to Richard Covington, and then third place going to go to Ron Millam here for the end of this thing. So we'll get those three up here in the booth to get their interviews. And what a ridiculous turn of events here for the end of this
Use
thing.
their
But
Discord for any good chatters.
yes. Well, either way, let's go ahead and get these interviews underway so they can get back to figuring out who finished through the rest of the order here tonight. And first one that we're going to bring in here is your third place finisher here tonight. It's going to be Ron Millum. Ron, you finished in third, question mark, here tonight. Either way, we're getting the official word that you finished up here in third with the 91. Certainly some favorable cautions for you at the end of this race. It seemed like a two-car breakaway at the front for majority of this race, but then those late race cautions kind of brought you back up into the mix here and get you up here on the podium with a top three.
Yep, I was just trying to focus on those long runs, trying to make it long, and try to flip the cycles. Everybody seems to pit so early usually, so I tend to just usually run it long and see what I can do, see if I can come out with something on the good side.
So I got to ask you, I know I was out here with some of you boys on Friday night with the ARCA cars here at Worldwide Technology, and you definitely need to shift in those cars. It sounds like you guys were shifting maybe not only once, but maybe even twice in turns 1 and 2. So, with these gears set up here in these next gen cars, how difficult was it to kind of not just nail these corners, nail the braking, but also nail the shifting points?
Yeah, I mean, coming out of 1 and 2, you definitely. Earlier on the run, I was going down to third gear, but then the tire wear was getting so I didn't want to risk it, so then I just kind of kept it in the fourth, just kind of manage my tires and keep it steady. But yeah, you definitely had to keep it steady coming around the corners if you're shifting. It got a little wiggly.
Well, you wiggled your way up here into the podium. So congrats on the top three finish here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do we want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I want to thank you guys all for doing what you do for the league, and shout out to Del Racing, and see you guys at Phoenix.
We'll see you for the finale next week. That is your third place finisher tonight, the 91 of Ron Millum. Second place tonight is going to go to Doughboy, the 21, Richard Covington Jr.
Hey, Richard, is Jimmy Carlton the booth copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, if you guys are looking for the wildest finish ever, I think you guys just gave it to us. I don't know who and what was where at the end, but obviously have a great finish here tonight on these paint schemes. Just had me hopping up here in the booth. It was like Christmas for me. It might have been Halloween down the track, but it was definitely Christmas for me up here. Love the paint schemes tonight that everybody was putting out there, and so it was a great show for me up here. But give us a little rundown on how your race was and how you kind of tackled this track, as you were pretty much up in the front all night long.
Yeah, mate. Really, the main thing was just try to keep the car together, and once we got a rhythm down, we just started going to town, see what ghost we could bust.
Definitely busting some ghosts tonight, that's for sure. But like always up here in CRN, we always want to say congratulations on the job well done, and from not only us here but from the fans out there as well. So congratulations, and we'll give you some time for any shouts you might have in that 21 before we let you out of here.
Yeah, main thing, you guys, mom and dad, Cody and Dylan. He just won the championship, so congratulations to him. And the team I run with, they do great. So that's I think that's all I got.
Well, definitely appreciate the shouts as always, and hope to see you at Phoenix for the finale of the season, and see if you can get yourself a W out there before the season is up. So congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 21 of Richard Covington Jr., also known as Doughboy. Top spot here tonight. I guess no better way to really seal that championship victory with a victory here in the race, as the 6 of Dylan Emerson now joins us. Dylan, it seemed like you were just maybe going to kind of point your way to the championship here coming late in the season. You won the season opener at Daytona, and then it was just kind of solid finishes to keep you up there in the points and lead your way towards the end of the season. You finally grab a win last week at Richmond, and all of a sudden you bounce back here, although gifted to you certainly by TJ at the end, but back-to-back wins here to finish out the season and really clinch that championship.
Yeah, I really channeled my inner Joey Logano. You know, you make it to the playoffs and then turn it up at the end. But no, it's really nice to get a win at the home track, whether it was gifted or not. You know, tech gods are awesome. Always praying to them.
Yes. Well, listen, I mean, it may have been gifted at the end, but you had a fast at number 6 out here tonight. It looked like you and Thomas O'Connor were easily going to run away with this. One of you guys were going to win the race. You guys were 9 seconds ahead of everybody else in the field. Both of you checking out from everybody, and then all of a sudden, the caution started coming out. So what was going through your head at that point? Because all of a sudden the caution comes out, and you guys are now not in first and second, you're in third and fourth.
Yeah, it was definitely explicit. And I'm like, come on. We had this locked up. I seen that it was just Thomas on my relative there for a while, and I'm like, well, this is going to be nice. It's just a nice little 1-2 finish at 1-2 in points. Then that caution came out, and it's like, now we gotta earn it, because I knew Ron and TJ they like to go long on their pit stop, so I knew that they were still going to be on the lead lap when that came out, and I'm like, dang. But it ended up working out at the end.
Well, before the late race cautions kind of, threw everything for a loop, you were really nailing your pit stops itself. You were coming in a lap earlier than Thomas O'Connor, and you were altogether getting, about 0.6 of a second to a full second on O'Connor just on the entire pit lane. You guys had, roughly about the same length of pit stop, in your pit box, but your entire pit lane time was where you were killing them and where you got the lead in the first place. So what was it about it? Were you just really attacking the entry and the exit here and doing the best you could for keeping it off the grass?
Yeah, that was basically it. I was trying to get in a little deeper, coming off of the backstretch into the turn 3, just to be able to carry more speed to the pit line. And I had a feeling he was going to take it a little easier, just so that he didn't mess up. So it looked like it really worked out, or was really working out there.
Well, it certainly did, and at the end of the day, you are the champion and the race winner here tonight. So it's got to feel great going out on top. But you still got one more race to go out in Phoenix. Do we have a chance to see back to finish out this season?
I hope so. This is 3 tracks with hard braking zones, and I've been able to wrap the bottom and be able to get my brake bias correct for my feeling, and hopefully we can go 3 in a row.
Well, we'll see if you give it a shot next week out in Phoenix, but take some time to celebrate this one. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
I want to give a thanks to Doughboy. He's got my scheme for the next week already drawn up, and it's going to be a nice one. And that's about it.
Congrats.
Thank you guys for hosting us.
Absolutely. We appreciate the opportunity. Take some time to celebrate this one, celebrate the championship as well, and see if you can go let your hair down and go for another win before this season ends next week at Phoenix.
Thanks, guys.
That is your winner here tonight and for the season, Dylan Emerson in the 6. Again, we got one more race left in the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing season. That's going to come up next week in Phoenix, as we'll end it in the desert. See who's going to get that last crown of the season and get that W to lead them into next season. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight, and a little extended here tonight to see who was the actual official top 3 that we got to interview. But it was a fun one. It was exciting for sure. So I guess a small part thank you to TJ Hanley, even though he's probably going to be kicking himself several times here tonight. But either way, thank you for tuning in here tonight. That's going to do it for myself and Jimmy here from the CRN booth at Worldwide Technology. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.